I love my LCS. I love going there and hunting and paying whatever their prices they have on their books. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle Haas. And in this one, we got a old-fashioned video, comic book haul video. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been able to share some books, but I felt like, hey, we got to get back to, making content about the books, man. Tell me about the books. So in this video, I got 10 of them. I've been picking up, around the Southern California area, picking up a bunch of different books. Spent about $1,000, a little bit more than $1,000 on these 10 books. And I think I got some really good stuff overall. So in this video, I want to share with you and talk about what I've been picking up. What are you guys picking up, as of late? But of course, before I get into the books, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps support the channel doing those things. But let us get into this video here today. Very excited to add these ones to my collection. I'll be going to San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know, guys. You know how the buying is at San Diego. Maybe I'm going to walk away with nothing because it's hard to find good deals there. But I got good deals here, starting with this one, which is the first book I picked up. A nice copy of Superboy number 68, first appearance of Bizarro. Look at that one. First Bizarro, what does that say? Insect hole. A little bit of a piece missing, but a very cool book regardless. Not one I've actually ever owned before. This book from 1958. It's interesting with these like DC keys that are not quite this is Golden Age, but it's not quite the true Golden Age when we're talking like 40s and 50s. That era of DC. We kind of get this pre-Marvel Silver Age section where you have like Brainiac and some of the Superman villains and Bizarro and stuff. A lot of these books been getting hot recently, especially with the excitement of the James Gunn universe. I don't necessarily know if Bizarro is in the works or in the game plan, but a lot of people kind of specking on this one. But a solid copy overall, not too easy to find. I call this one about a 3.0, but overall it's in good shape. And a pretty cool book to have. What do you guys think about Bizarro as a character overall? How are you feeling about him? As far as like, would you like to see him in DC? Admittedly, I don't know too much about Bizarro. I've read a couple DC stuff with him in it. All right, next book I picked up here is one that I haven't had for a long time. I've had a much lower grade copy of this one before, but it's nice to add this solid one to my collection. Of course, I'm talking about Green Lantern and Green Arrow number 76, another DC book I was able to pick up for myself. Of course, the classic Neil Adams cover where it combines Green Lantern with Green Arrow. It would be like their crossover where they would go on to do tandem stories together. And look at this. This is a really solid copy. I was able to find for myself. The front cover presents really nice. Of course, you guys can see from the label, there's a little bit of a water stain on the back. Not too big, just a little tiny corner. But really nice colors for this one. I mean, the front cover presents like a 7 or an 8.0, looks really nice in this one. And this has always been one of the DC covers that, Neil Adams, fantastic. Everything he does is always great. But every time I see this book, it's very striking, visually striking. The full green, the color is amazing. And one of the all-time great covers, as far as Neil Adams books are concerned. I feel like, the Neil Adams books, generally speaking, continue to do well. As far as like all comic book prices correcting and things going down, it's like Neil Adams has this fan base. Same with like Chris Claremont X-Men books. It's like the books that have always been desired by comic book collectors outside of movie spec and things like that. Those always have the audience, and they've always been able to maintain strong prices overall. Unlike this book right here, which in my opinion is at this point, ironically, a little bit undervalued. Of course, this book I'm talking about is Doctor Strange number 169. Another book I was able to find for myself. I can't believe where the prices are for this book, and also Strange Tales 110 at this point. When Doctor Strange's movie was coming out, and we were still in 2022, and everyone was going crazy about the prices in the market, these books were absolutely on fire, and now you can't give them away. I think I was able to get this one for like, I don't know, $60 or something like this. A really nice presenting copy. Look at the blacks on this one. This is a book that is always wrapped. Now, the only problem is, down here you can see it does have a corner break down here in the corner. So, outside of that, it's a super nice presenting copy. A couple spine ticks and stuff, but the corner does kind of kill it. It probably brings it, I don't know what you would hit that with, the 7.0 or the 6.0 range. But again, for that price point, for that cover, imagine if that cover was the Strange Tales 110 cover. Imagine what Strange Tales 110 would be worth. Certainly a lot more than what it's going for now. Actually, it might be a good time to pick up a Strange Tales 110. All right, next up here is an early Fantastic Four book, maybe one that is going to get hot based on what we might see in the MCU. This, of course, is Fantastic Four number 28. I believe this is the first meeting, certainly the first crossover of the X-Men into the Fantastic Four title right here. A very, very cool book. This one probably grades out to be, maybe a 3.5, a 4.0, somewhere in that category. But, a solid looking copy of this overall. And, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see X-Men and Fantastic Four, have some kind of crossover in an MCU movie soon? I feel like that's probably going to happen sooner than we think. Given what is going on with Secret Wars and stuff, even if we don't have, say, the MCU X-Men, I think we're going to get the Hugh Jackman X-Men interacting with the current cast of the Fantastic Four movie. And when that happens, this could be the book that the market starts to look at once again. So another cool book to add to my collection right there. All right, then there's this one right here. One that, I've owned this book a couple times before, but, I picked it up because it was so cheap. But it's one that, I don't know, it's kind of a tweener key. What do you guys think about this book? I got Marvel Superheroes number 18, first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but we're talking about the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Charlie 27 and Yondu and Martinex and some of these characters that they were in the Guardians movies, but they weren't really featured. We got the new team now with Star-Lord, and this is kind of an interesting book. I feel like it's one that people kind of like it, but this version of the Guardians team is not really the version that everyone always likes to, follow or read currently. But, hey, the price was right with this one. I think I got it for like $30. Has some moisture damage on the back, but the cover, the colors are really nice. They present very, very nicely overall. Looks like a fantastic, great book, but it does have water on the back. But, still a cool book. Anytime I find some of these books that are good deals, I'll still pick them up, regardless. They're still fun books to own, in the collection. All right, next up here is a beautiful copy of this book, and one that I think is another one that has fallen off quite a lot with our corrections here. But this one is Iron Man and Submariner number 1. Predates the big premiere issues of Iron Man number 1 and Submariner number 1. This, you get the twofer with this one. Special once-in-a-lifetime issue. And this is a really, really nice copy. I definitely think it's got a chance to grade very high. I'll certainly call it, as it sits, at least a 9.0. I'll put it like that. At least a 9.0 for now. Very happy to add this one to the collection. Another one that, again, I've had a lot of these books that, before, but they're always wrecked or, they're lower grade. And, it's always hard to find them, in as nice of a shape, which is why I had to pick this one up. Which is why I picked up this one as well. A very, very high grade copy of Thor 148, the first appearance of the Wrecker. Now, this is a book that is near and dear to my heart. I love the Wrecking Crew, but I have to admit, after I watched She-Hulk, it kind of took the wind out of my sails for this team. I still like him. I still like the Wrecker. I think that this is a cool book. I think that he's a fun B-tier villain. I will always have a fondness in my heart for this character. But man, they did my boy dirty. They did him so dirty in the She-Hulk show. But I still like this book. I still like picking it up when I see it. And this one's a really, really nice high-grade copy of this one. I might have to get this one graded, to be honest. It's such a nice copy. But, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I got to get it to the presser. I got to get it clean. Got to do the whole, dog and pony show. And sometimes it's like, I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that. All right, next couple books right here are a couple cool ASM books. A nice copy of ASM number 44, second appearance of the Lizard. You know me. I've talked about the Lizard many times before. Really nice copy. This is another one where I don't know what it is, but this book is always wrecked. Maybe it's because it's a black cover. It always has the damages on it. But this one was solid. This one was a really nice version of it. The colors are really nice in this. Very saturated, deep, dark colors, which I really appreciated with this book. And anytime I find a decent presenting, good copy, good priced version of ASM, you can't go wrong with ASM. Even in this market, it's always a good time to pick up ASM. Next up here, another ASM book. Never actually owned this one before. I don't think I've owned it, but I got a copy of ASM number 56. Again, just a really, really nice solid copy of this one right here. Now, the only problem is You see that tape pull right there? Yep. Somebody did not remove the tape. Always remove the tape from your books when you take them in and out of the bag. You don't want to cause the tape pull. You know, without that tape pull, this is definitely a 9.0 or higher copy. You know, it's really unfortunate that happened, but that it got that. But that's why I had to pick it up, because it's just such a striking version of this book, and a really cool cover. I love the Dr. Octopus covers in that ASM run. All right, last book I had to share with you guys here today from my casual comic book haul video is a copy that I didn't currently have in my collection. You know, I had to add this one back, but this one is Daredevil number 168, a really nice copy of the first appearance of Elektra. Classic book right here. This is another one where, man, you look at some of those CGC prices for this one, they have really, really come down from where they were. You know, I think 9/8, there was a time when the 9/8 were selling for like $5,000, almost $6,000. Now I think they're back down to $2,000, you know, but this one is, you know, it's a really nice copy. I have to say, I think that it's definitely a 9.4. I'll say that. It's definitely a 9.4. Could be, you know, pressed up, maybe 9.6. I don't know. Last time I sent books into CGC, I felt like, you know, I didn't know. I was shocked with the grades. So I was like, challenging myself. Maybe I don't know how to grade, although I think that they were harsh on my books. So I'm going to say that was like a 9.4. So, but a very, very cool book. I mean, I feel like we're going to get Elektra, you know, at some point soon. It feels like we're maybe going to see a Jennifer Garner, you know, coming back into the MCU. I'm sure that, you know, those are all in talks, and I'm sure we're going to get an MCU version in the Daredevil show. Anyways, that was it. That was my video, you know, classic little throwback here on the channel to do a little comic haul video. I thought I did pretty good, you know, $1,000, picked up 10 great keys, about, you know, an average of $100 a book right there. I think these are some really good stuff, and yeah, thought I would share with you guys. I mean, I love going around with the LCSs. I love hunting. I did that video where I was talking about LCS pricing, and in it, you know, I got a little bit of criticism. People were like, "Oh, you're fanning the flames," but I was like, "No, this is what a lot of people feel." And I caveated in that video that I love going to LCSs. It's my favorite place to buy books. So I just feel bad for the people that don't have as good of shops around them. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. What have you guys been picking up recently? What's going on with your current comic book buying? How are you guys feeling? You know, sometimes I want to know what the state of everyone is, you know, out there in comic land. You know, it's like, how are you guys feeling? You guys buying, still waiting on the sidelines, like waiting for prices to continue to crash? You know, or have you been going to comic book shows? Are you going to San Diego Comic-Con? I'm definitely going to go. We'll see if we can find any good deals there. I don't know if the dealers yet have the good prices compared to some of the LCSs that I've been seeing, but we will definitely do our darndest and try to pick up some books while we're there. Anyways, that's all for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.